Vic Schaefer has felt right at home as the standards for Texas, again, back where they believe they should be, coming off a Final Four performance last spring. Well, a familiar face for Texas, Rori Harmon in her final year, leading this offense. Of course, one of the top two-way players in the nation. She's got a little bit of support on this roster here in 2025-2026, including down low, where we'll see some free throws early on.
Kind of a perfect fit for him.
We saw Brea for 15 minutes in her start in the opener. 16 points, 8 rebounds. Of course, you see part of her resume last 2 years in the Big 12 at Arizona.
Well, and she played for Aaliyah Barnes at Arizona, who's very defensive-minded. Now at SMU, she took the job there, but Aaliyah has really taught her well at the defensive end, which fits, again, with Vic Schaefer's style. And this is what you will see Texas do. If you have watched Texas over the years, they press full court pretty much the entire game. Makes it very difficult for teams to even get the ball in or bring it up.
Texas forced at least 3 turnovers on 5-second counts on inbounds plays in the opener against the Cardinals of UIW. Get the more traditional turnover here. Crump stops, pops off the back iron, one and done. The rebound to Allie Sweeney. Preseason All-Atlantic 10. An 11-point victory. That was deemed a good loss nationally for the Spiders. Boosted their RPI. See the starting 5 for Vic Schaefer, including some new faces this year with some big shoes to fill. You mentioned one of them, filling the shoes of the All-American Taylor Jones.
And again, watch Richmond's offense. They play 5 out outside the three-point line. They look to penetrate to the lane and kick out to find their shooters. Shot clock at 10 right now.
Doogan. Oh, good vision down low, able to find Tierra Simon, who's at her most recent stop in Division I. She's a transfer from within the conference in the A-10. Told herself and others she wasn't going to transfer to a school in the A-10 unless it was Richmond, and well, it turned out to be Richmond. Here's Alicia Newell.
Quick defensively, and she can really match up, I think, with Texas's athletes out there.
Newell, a great junior Olympian in the long jump. As the shot's not falling here early on, Tierra Simon with the rebound.
Nice.
Sweeney with all the confidence, taking it to the rack.
They look to get to the rim, as we've talked about, even in transition. And the great thing about Allie Sweeney for Coach Aaron Roussel is she's not afraid to get to the rim. And another steal.
An encore from Alicia Newell.
And those are just lazy passes by Texas right now.
Texas looking to end an 8-0 run for the Spiders. That's not where you want to save the ball. Booker sent it back in down low. Who touched it last? 16 to shoot for the Longhorns. Booker banks it. Bucket.
Yeah, pretty shot right there.
They're excited about Perchetti. And the opener knocked down 4 triples against Mount St. Mary's. Newell had another chance for a layup. She's tied up, and this will be Texas ball.
Well, and you always need a stopper, and if Newell can do that and give extended minutes on the best player on the other team, that is a huge bonus.
Jordan Lee. Sophomore finds the junior, and Texas will look for a stop and try to get some momentum going. Pocket picked. Booker off the races. Texas back in front. Texas was a plus 61 in the opener on Monday when a certain person named Madison Booker was on the floor.
Well, Maddie Booker has just gotten better every single year, and she was terrific as a freshman, then again as a sophomore, stronger this year than ever before. 18
points in her 26 minutes against the Cardinals of UIW. Had 6 rebounds as well. He wasn't as bothered by those 24 turnovers as a lot of coaches would be because they weren't necessarily going to set it. Vic Schaefer, for those of you keeping track at home, jacket still on.
Well, in his 6th season, I mean, he has rebuilt the culture here at Texas. He's done a tremendous job of not just instilling certain attributes and certain thought processes in his players, but
6 points for Alicia Newell, who makes both of her free throws. Good, Richmond back ahead, and now an offensive foul on the Longhorns.
Well, and that's going to be Crump's 2nd foul out there.
And you see it's going to be a moment before we can get things back underway.
See Perschetti out there, number 4, the lefty, really talented shooter.
Again, had 4 triples the other night. Doogan off the mark. And Rori Harmon with the rebound, leading a numbers game the other way for the orange and white. And Rori healthy the entirety of last season. Nice mid-range stroke from Jordan Lee. One of the slew of McDonald's All-Americans for the Longhorns.
Good job by Texas. They're having to extend their defense even with their 4s and 5s, their bigs. Getting out in the passing lanes.
It's a 3-minute field goal drought for the Spiders, and that'll come to an end with the trifecta. Again, knocked down 4 of them in the opener against Mount St. Mary's for her 12 points.
Yeah, got lucky there.
Doogan with the rebound. Richmond looking to expand a 2-point lead. That'll do it. Maggie Doogan in her 98th game as a Spider. Rori Harmon, those knees looking healthy.
A really good defense right there by Richmond.
That ball halfway down. Kyla Oldacre out-rebounding 2 Richmond Spiders.
Concerned about the physicality of Texas on the interior. You see Oldacre here. You're boxing her out. Got to get your hands up, though, and finish that box out. Get the rebound. Oldacre does so much damage in a hurry on the low block if you let her have the ball.
Didn't necessarily have positioning, but size worked to her favor. The lack of knee brace makes her coach more nervous than it does her. That's a good thing for her. Preston. A drive along the baseline. Blows by 2 defenders. Jordan Lee. The former state track champion out of California. Richmond can
5.
just about hold for the final shot. Sweeney for 3, no.
Quick back screen and a lob pass. Yep, nice job.
That's the way you draw it up for Doogan. Just cannot get it to go, but the Spiders will be content with a 16-14 lead. Booker with 6 points on 3 from 3 shooting from the floor in the first quarter. Got a bit of a rest there in that first frame. Kick out Preston, wide open, good.
Yeah, Preston's looked so good this year with her shooting this short year.
Texas was 0 for their first 4 3-point attempts. That one won't go down for the Spiders. And a shot off the mark from Rachel Olstrom. Really a breakout year last year. Offensive rebound falls right into the lap of Taya Sidbury. And Taya, just like that, is 3 points shy of 1,000 in her career.
That was something.
Feet get tangled up. It's a 3-on-1 break. Texas will take those odds. And a trip to the free throw line coming up for Jordan Lee. See her resume, including her old career high being 20. It's a 7-0 start to the quarter for Texas after entering the second period with a deficit. Doogan looking for a little give and go. Couldn't get it back to Olstrom. Texas with numbers the other way. Lee will lob it. Booker extra touch. Sidbury will go to the line.
Might have taken that 3-pointer instead, making something happen. You know, you're coming in, you think you're a really good shooter, is to just take that shot all the time, when sometimes the best thing is to force the defense to play longer possessions.
Some rare misses for Sidbury. She was an 88% free throw shooter last year.
A lot of gaps for Vic Schaefer when he needs to at the 3, 4, 5 sometimes possibly.
Well, mid-range stroke.
Well, just able to switch on everything. They've got a defensive team out there that's able to continue to put pressure on the shooters. 5 on the shot clock.
Doogan wound up with a good-looking shot late in the shot clock. The Houston native. There's plan A on every inbounds play across the country. Into Brea Cunningham. Timeout Richmond. Ball into Sam Dewey. A couple years in the Big Ten, now second year here. Doogan, strong take. She'll be rewarded with the and one.
Terrific finish.
Even in that season-ending loss in the second round at UCLA, she put up 27 points after putting up 30 points and 15 rebounds against Georgia Tech in the first round.
That was a great game. Did you watch that game last year? ACC Georgia Tech played extremely well.
Atlantic 10 power against an Atlantic Coast Conference team. Booker off the screen from 16.
Well, she got bumped on that.
Doogan being defended by Justice Carlton. .12 to shoot midway through the second quarter. Shot clock down to 4. Perchetti blocked by Booker. Booker goes right at Perchetti and will go back to the free throw line.
And foul trouble was a problem last year in their game at Richmond.
Booker looking to add to it from the line. After missing her last 3, knocks that one down. 10 to shoot. Carlton exacts some revenge. Justice Carlton will take it the distance. The sophomore from the Houston area out of Katie's Seven Lakes High School, and ultimately Booker helps come up with a stop on one end. Texas can pour in 2 more on the other. Right place, right time. Carlton on a bit of a run of her own. Able to get it in to Doogan. 2 minutes to go here in the opening half. Doogan from the top of the arc. It's good. Shot 40% from downtown last year to help guide them to an at-large bid out of the A-10 to the NCAA tournament. Carlton draws contact, no whistle, and the shot will fall. She's got 6 points all within the past couple of minutes. Doogan skips a pass, will pick up the assist, dropping the dime to Olstrom. Preston forgoes the 3. It's from the SEC logo, no.
Another good box out. Oldacre just not really able to get on the offensive boards. If you remember last year, Texas made a living on the offensive boards.
Richmond down by double digits as we flirt with halftime. Sweeney trying to maintain her dribble and does. Plenty of time still on the shot clock. Dewey to Doogan.
Doogan looked just fatigued on that. Well, Justice Carlton as well, not playing with a knee brace this year. She injured her knee right before her senior year in high school. Has had a good off season to be able to do better rehabilitation of that knee. And is
shot clock no longer a factor as we are 10 seconds away from halftime. Sweeney had an easy opportunity down low, just could not get it. Clock will start as Preston picks it up. Preston, everything but the bucket. Texas overcomes a slow start, trailing after the first quarter, takes a double-digit lead. Of course, Texas looking to continue their win streak here at Moody Center. It would be their 51st win overall in 55 games since moving into the Moody Center. Harmon picking up where Texas left off in the opening half.
You really just can't leave somebody one-on-one against Harmon on an out-of-bounds play like that. You have to bring help if you're Richmond. Possessions are so important for them right now. Scoring on possessions, not having empty possessions.
Booker with another denial. Ideal start for the Longhorns. Can they go 2 for 2? They do. That's 4 quick points for Rori.
Just a tremendous defensive player out there.
Sweeney picks up her dribble, 5 to shoot.
I don't even think Rain Wright is aware of that.
They'll never get a shot off. Meanwhile, the other way, Aaliyah Crump. A couple of buckets already.
And again, missing Newell out there on the floor for the Spiders. I think she brought a level of calm as far as ball handling goes.
A cheer throughout the arena as Texas volleyball taking care of business in Gainesville. Lots of sports going on at the same time. Madison Booker in double digits, first player for either team. She's got 11 to go with 8 rebounds.
Yeah, Roussel going to a zone defense on that possession right there, and Texas doing a nice job of recognizing it.
And just a nice take, able to shed a defender, Tiara Simon, who was limited with 3 fouls in that first half. And transfers in after averaging 9 points, 9 rebounds at St. Louis last year.
And Simon is somebody that's played at the D1 level for a while, has some experience.
Jordan Lee, all freshman team last year in the SEC. The California kid knocks down the triple. As she joins Booker, 11 points apiece. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-point parade.
Let's see Simon with that basket down low, and now to 3. Richmond was really, really hurting for somebody to step up offensively, and she has here in the last couple of minutes.
She is on that Cheryl Miller Award watch list. Of course, the award for the last 2 years has resided here in Austin with Madison Booker. Kick out, open look from the wing. Money.
And that was just Sweeney making something happen, getting around Rori Harmon, making the easy pass.
Sam Dewey is going to see more and more minutes this year. After averaging fewer than 8 per game last year. Buried in a depth chart in the post last year. Texas will pull those 2 points right back. Jordan Lee. Kick out from Doogan.
Yeah.
Booker adds to her rebounding total. She's got 9.
Yeah, I don't mind that shot by Olstrom. Forced a little bit, but she needs to get herself into play, force the defense to have to defend her as well.
Boy, Doogan was denying baseline access until she wasn't.
The guard position at just 6 foot. Aaliyah Crump, 6'1". You see her ability to finish and creativity among the bigs.
She saw a sliver of daylight. That was enough. And one won't fall, but Oldacre with the offensive rebound. Crump was looking for a 4-point possession.
Again, the spread offense, high screen and roll, a lot of room for somebody to get to the rim if they could get by the first line of defense.
And an offensive foul as Sweeney clears out Harmon.
That's what I'm talking about with that first line of defense. Well, and what changed was Richmond started turning the basketball over with Texas's pressure defense.
Booker from the elbow. She's got 13 to match Jordan Lee's game high. Good look on the wing. Ooh. And it will go down.
And they're going to need a lot of those to get back into this game against Texas. Texas taking their time offensively right now, using that clock.
Crump a step back, draws the contact, count the bucket, the foul on Sweeney.
She is so poised and confident as an offensive player. You see that little step back. That's some creativity.
Misspoke. The foul looked to be on Doogan. And again, giving up offensive rebounds, something that Richmond thrived at in the opener. And another trip to the line for Crump coming up. With the Lynx being a center point of it all in the WNBA.
Yeah, well, Aaron Roussel is friends with Flip Saunders' son. Obviously, Roussel from Minnesota. He literally was an intern for a summer in the sales department for the Minnesota Lynx. Having multiple chances to have hot stove touches, I think, is just to speed up the game and to allow more flow in the game.
Doogan past Booker wins that battle this time.
Yeah, nice job right there, but wide open basket for Doogan.
He's after the hustle from Dewey, kept the possession alive. Booker 1v2. She'll take those odds any night.
Yeah, at 6'1", Booker's able to finish over the top of so many players, and boy, but especially with her defense, she is a perfect fit for Vic Schaefer's system from the time she stepped on the floor as a freshman.
Former Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12. Dewey.
A couple of defensive breakdowns by Texas, which never makes Vic Schaefer happy.
Texas has knocked down 5 of their last 7. Richmond 6 of their last 8. Rori Harmon will be the next to go to the glory. A 74% free throw shooter last year. Texas tonight.
She is much improved free throw shooter over her career and spent a ton of time in the gym and obviously shooting when she was injured and out with that ACL 2 years ago.
Another offensive rebound for the Longhorns. Crump from just inside the free throw line, and yet it's worth more.
Yeah, good.
She gets 2.
Yeah, Crump, I tell you what, she is just not afraid of putting the ball up when she has a chance. She sees a little bit of daylight and gets that shot off.
Oldacre with the rebound after the miss from Doogan. Richmond doing a good job getting back. Texas has made its last 3. Texas has made its last 4. Olstrom open. Will get a second chance. Carlton doing a good job staying glued to her, but Olstrom gets the better of the exchange.
Yeah, with 4 underclassmen out there at the guard position defending, this might be the best chance.
Olstrom plays 3-on-3 basketball for Team USA. Some WNBA scouts will have their eyes on her.
A little confusion offensively.
Carlton with 7 points off the bench. Oldacre with the tie-up with Doogan. As the final seconds counting down for this third period. Sweeney. Baseline around Preston. Everything but the bucket. Inch. Clock down to 2. Dewey straightaway triple. And it'll be Texas with a 23-point lead heading into the final 10 minutes of play. Madison Booker's in danger of having to put on a headset at the end of the night and have a chat with us. Fourth quarter. In 4th-ranked Texas, 24th-ranked Richmond. And they met last year at Richmond. As Preston trying to knock down for Texas what would have been just their 4th three-pointer of the night.
A little bit less experience defensively for Texas on the floor.
Doogan into Dewey. Doogan did not have eyes in the back of her head as Dewey was trying to feed her into the post uncontested. Crump, a big screen from Oldacre. Hoping to be rewarded, but getting her own rebound, her own reward, Kyle Oldacre.
I promised myself I wasn't going to laugh at your stuff today.
You can laugh some other day. Doogan's going to do her best to help Richmond claw their way back into this one. Some of the fans were asking Coach Roussel, well, after Texas, who's our next home-and-home series with? They were excited thinking that this could be a regular thing.
Again, against the zone, good ball movement, but better hands by Richmond.
Yeah, off the foot of Preston, back over to the Spiders. Crescetti, limited by fouls in the opening half. Olstrom, a handful.
Yeah.
And Olstrom gets the bucket, even if not the whistle. Even numbers the other way. As Preston leads the charge, puts her shoulder down, takes it, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Well, she is a crowd favorite out there because of her speed and creativity.
On just one panel of your screen.
I've seen Vic with 3 point guards out there at the same time here this year in that first game.
Jordan Lee gets a breather. And Taya Sidbury back on the floor. And Richmond back on the scoreboard.
A shot clock at 10. Clear out for Booker.
Already a double-double tonight. Baseline stroke is good. Booker out of position, sliding in to take over. Texas still closing out their time in the Big 12 in style. Booker, in fact, would be Big 12 Player of the Year her freshman year, and right on cue, comes up with the turnover, taking it the other way. Booker 1 on 3. Not that time. Second chance opportunity for Cunningham. It's good.
Come on.
Even got a hand on that one, coming out to defend on the perimeter, Cunningham.
And that's just tough. It's tough for her to guard on the perimeter like that. A good job of contesting.
Stewart up ahead. And a trip to the free throw line.
A good job. Watch her with her hands as she helps defensively right here. Causes the turnover. Gets down the floor. And, you know, a lot of players might just stand around watching Booker as she goes to the rim, but hits the offensive boards and is able to finish on the quick contact.
So you think Booker missed that shot on purpose to help Cunningham tap her? And Cunningham, a junior. And again, both these teams are going to fight to the finish. Texas is led by as many as 27. They'll up that advantage. Booker with 2 more. Jordan Lee has Crump running with her and finds her.
Yeah, that dynamic duo right there. Lee as a sophomore.
3.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Texas on a 9-0 run. Trying to close out their first win over a ranked opponent on the new year. That's Cunningham able to haul it in.
It's been a tough day shooting for Richmond. Just 7 for 22 from the field. The 22, not a surprise. They're accustomed to putting up a lot of threes, but also accustomed to making a lot more.
Again, they fell at home last year to Texas by 11 points. They're off to a great start after the first quarter, up 16-14. And the Longhorns, maybe they'll find a rhythm from beyond the arc. She has found her first 2 triples of the year tonight. Booker steps in front of it. They let him play out. That one's just out of the hand in time to beat the shot clock, but still nothing to show for it for Perschetti.
For both of these teams, there's a lot of good things to go back and look at, as we say, on tape.
And she's usually good for a couple of charges a night. Stepping in front of opponents. Dewey. Perschetti. Graves curling around. A little no-look feed into Cunningham, and they'll say getting a piece of the basketball was Skylar Travis, now in her 4th stop here in Division I. And seeing her first minutes of the night. Here is Skylar. North Carolina native, played for Louisiana, a couple years at Missouri and Old Dominion. And then there's Doogan. I think viewers at this point familiar with her resume.
Had to fight for everything she's gotten today.
Still the only Spider in double-digit scoring tonight. Second leading scorer is Simon with 7. Both of them have 4 fouls that they're playing with. Green, who, what a story she's been, missed her first 2 full seasons out with injuries. Finally made her collegiate debut November of last year. Almost exactly a year ago. Former state champion. Hoping for one final year of healthy collegiate basketball. .9 ball game. Perschetti out to Dewey. Crump looking at her options. Some fans imploring Sarah Graves to shoot it.
Which Sarah Graves will always shoot the ball in the course of the offense. She's not going to be forcing anything up. Certainly knows what Vic Schaefer wants out of her.
She'll shoot it at 5 a.m. in the gym with Rori Harmon to help Rori work on her assists. Preston off the front iron. Texas won't need to track this one down, but they do track down their first top 25 victory on the year for Vic Schaefer's bunch.
Yeah, really slow start for Texas, and they were down in that first quarter. And